Hello and welcome to GrindslimeTV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're heading over to Seattle, Washington to check out some banging death metal in the form of Drawn and Quartered and their album Feeding Hell's Furnace from 2012. Oh yeah, absolute banger. Cracking bit of artwork as well by Gabriel, I think it's Gabriel Elburn, was it? Yes, which is kind of cool because there's an actor called Gabriel Byrne. This guy's Gabriel Elburn. So, easy way to remember. The artwork goes all the way across the booklet, which is always nice. Very sort of, I don't know. I mean, I'm not great at naming like art styles, but it's kind of out there, which I really like. Can't really make out much of it. Though, mind you, looking at it in real life, you can't really make out much of what's going on either. Very chaotic, very hellish. Lots of impalement going on. As you can see, there's some guy hanging upside down with spikes coming out of him. Oh, my face. So he's having a terrible time. This was released, as I mentioned, in 2012 by Nuclear Winter Records. And this is an absolutely killer album, it has to be said. I think this is like their third or fourth album. But, and this is the only album of theirs I've heard, actually, so far. I do want to get some more of their stuff and check more out. I've seen they've got a pretty tasty box set with 5 records in it that hasn't got this in it. So that works out really, really well. Get 9 tracks on here in the space of about 37 minutes, which is always nice. Lyrical themes sort of, you know, hover around, you know, hell, Satan, murder, ritualistic torture, Leviathan. That's, you know, cool stuff. The stuff you want, you know. Misery. Oh, yes. And if that doesn't cheer you up, I don't know what will. On the CD, we've got the a section of the artwork, very ghoulish and ghostly looking. Yes. Very ethereal with bones and deformities and who knows what else. Classic black CD tray as well. That's what we like to see. Old school. And here's the chavies on the back. Right there. All cool, all cool. Just a 3-piece. Best way, really. Bass player with doing vocals, guitarist, and drummer. It's the ultimate recipe. But yeah, this is cracking death metal, and a lot of people I hear talking about the phrase or philosophy of a death metal spirit. But this album absolutely reeks of it, and from what I understand, their other albums are just as good or perhaps even better. But as far as I'm concerned, this record is absolutely fantastic. Got a bit of a reflections of things, and this was, I love that logo too, and I think this was perhaps their first album to use the newer logo. The one they used on the older one, I could be wrong there, but the ones they used on the older ones looked very it was a bit shit, really. It looked very sort of standard, the sort of thing where you'd see a CD in like the bargain bin and be like, oh, one of those logos. But artwork's always been savage, but this logo is absolutely fantastic, way better, and just very, very cool. If you're into bands like Incantation, Ares Kingdom, Immolation, Chaos Inception, Putrivore, those kinds of low guttural vocals, lots of blasts, going slow with fantastic intention. I mean, some of these bands, when they go slow, it's like, oh, they're just going boring to make the song last longer. Not these guys. There's atmosphere, chock-a-block throughout this record. Absolute smashing killer. And yeah, 37 minutes of just pure fucking horrible, unholy death metal, which is just what the doctor ordered. So let's get one last look at this album sleeve, out of the booklet, out of the case even, I mean. So yeah, very, very strange and chaotic. Not the best view, I know. The light's pretty terrible, but it's worth looking into. Absolutely cracking record. It's on Spotify, YouTube, that sort of stuff. So yeah, Feeding Hell's Furnace by Drawn and Quartered. Absolutely cracking record. Just if you like your death metal to sound dirty and nasty and raw, mate, it sits very nicely in that category. Make that happen. So that's it from me today. Be sure to support your local record store and the underground. Head on over to Amazon to pick up your copy of Grindslime Magazine, or go to the link in the description if you're that fucking stupid. And yeah, have a good one. Oh, find me on Instagram as well at GrindslimeTV. So until then, laters, taters.